Welcome to the Chasing Tone Podcast. I'm Brian Wampler.
I'm Max Jeffrey.
And today we are going to tackle a few different issues. One of them is we're going to show you what we did to get the tone for the Hairstortion video. It was not a pedal. We'll detail that. And we also are going to do something really cool and something that is going to make me sweat quite a bit. And that is we're going to actually run through a bunch of different speakers, all with the exact same setup. So let's get into the Hairstortion. Common question that we see all the time on the Hairstortion video, and you get a lot of emails about the Hairstortion as well.
All the time.
So the Hairstortion was an April Fool's Day joke that we did, and you can see the comments on the page where people ask, where they can buy it, and when we say it was not a real pedal, then they say, well, what were you using? So I want to detail what I'm using. I actually was using this guitar. It's just a Mexican Strat, stock and everything. Except for the neck. The neck is brand new because I tried to throw a guitar over my shoulder and failed miserably. And Bob can link that up here as well for that embarrassing point in my life. And anyways, so going through the ADA MP1, which is like an 80s, late 80s processor. A lot of guys like, I think even like Nuno used one. Queensryche, Queensryche used one. Just everybody who was cool in the 80s used an MP1. I'm running it into the effects return of a Port City Pearl. This just allows me to use it as a power amp. So that's the ADA is my preamp. The Port City is my power amp. Going through a Marshall cabinet with WGS green berets, mic'd with an SM57. So yeah, the tone was just strictly this. So that's really the tone. It wasn't even a pedal at all. It was as 80s as I could make it. At the time, I didn't have a Ibanez guitar.
The RG.
The RG, which would have made it even better. But I did have socks, extra socks.
You did.
Stuffed in the right places. Yeah. And grew my hair out.
Sure.
Yeah. And yeah, so, and the trick to it was this. So here's the pedal. The trick to it was that it had this little string on the back that you would pull. Someone off screen would pull it at the right time, and when you plug it in, the fan actually does run a little bit. It's basically a fan off a computer, so like a laptop or something. So, and that's all it did. It sound passed straight through, so there was no sound from the pedal at all. The power just powered the fan. That was the entire trick for the Hairstortion. And so, yeah, if you're wanting that tone, ADA MP1 preamp, you can find them on eBay. And Port City Pearl head and a Marshall cabinet. And a Strat. A common question we get, well, actually you probably get more than I do since you answered a lot of the help desk stuff, is asking about different speakers, or what do you think about this speaker, with this amp or whatever. We actually, yeah, I mean, we actually, I thought would be a really cool thing to do is I have several different speakers. Most of the ones I have are WGS speakers, but I thought if we showed the same guitar pedal through the same amp with a different speaker, and mics in the exact same place, that would really show you the differences between different types of speakers. And I think that's probably one of the big things that whenever you're chasing tone, as they say.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah, I mean, speakers make a dramatic difference, more than cables. Probably as much, if not more, probably more than the guitar, or close to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can totally change your amp.
Yeah, it really can. So if, like, for example, you have a Blues Junior Love, right? Didn't you put a different speaker in it?
Yeah, I put the Reaper high power speaker in it, and it totally, it was like taking a blanket off my amp.
Just totally different.
Got rid of the boxiness and everything. It's just awesome.
Yes, that's a big thing to change. And some people are a little intimidated by it. It's super easy. There's usually just a couple screws into the speaker, or a couple nuts on the backside of the speaker, and you take it out, and unplug the speaker. And, as long as you get the plus and a minus on, mark which one's the plus, and as long as you get it on the right tab on your speaker, and the speaker's marked,
good to go.
Yeah, it's super easy. So, all right. So right now, I'll show you what speaker. I think it's a Warehouse or WGS Veteran 30, which is like a sort of like a vintage 30 sort of sound. Playing through the Maxon. You know what? You actually may be a better. You're a Tube Screamer fanatic.
Sure.
So
yeah, I am.
This Maxon 808 is it's basically just a good tube screamer. Cool. Now let's go out and we'll go into the isolated room where the actual cabinet is, and we'll. I actually have a bunch of cabinets that are all the same size, speakers all in the same place, and I have the carpet marked where the cabinet goes, so I can literally pull one cabinet out, plug it in, plug a new one in, set it back in place, and it's dead on easy way to change speakers. So let's go do that real quick. All right, so here are my amps, and as you can probably hear, it's raining like crazy right now. These are my cabinets, all the same size, all made out of pine, all with different speakers. Speakers are always centered right in the exact same place. So, this is the isolated room. I'll walk in here and I'll show you how we change it. This cabinet is what I'm running through. All I have to, you can see I have the carpet marked with tape. So all I have to do is unplug that. I already have the amp on standby. Unplug that. Careful not to bump any microphones. Take a different cabinet. Make sure it's right where I have it placed on the tape. Plug the cabinet back in. And we have the mic set up with a whole different speaker, basically in the exact same cabinet. So now we can go play through it and see what the difference is with this one, which is a HM75 by WGS. All right, so we're back with the exact same setup with the HM75 from WGS. Let's see what that sounds like. Cool. Let's try the next speaker. All right, and this one is the it's WGS again, and it's the Alnico Black and Blue, I believe is what it's called. All right, so let's try out the next one. So this next cabinet is the WGS British Lead. Let's see what that sounds like. All right, let's check out the next one. This is the WGS Invader 50.
next one?
All right, so this next one is a WGS Green Beret, which is one of their standards, and it's based off of like a greenback type of speaker. All right, so that's a ton of different speakers, all with the Maxon 808 overdrive and Stratocaster. Basically the same lick over and over. What was kind of your thoughts on it? Playing
Yeah.
it, I mean, were you able to feel different things? The different feels and...
Especially that Green Beret, it's like way bassier, way punchier. So, I mean, it's, for me, like I heard a big difference in each one. Some of you guys might not. But yeah, definitely, at least here in the room, it was definitely, you could definitely hear a difference.
Yeah, and yeah, it's surprising just how much of a difference that each of those speakers.
Absolutely.
Just every speaker, really. I mean, we did what we do, like 5 or 6 speakers or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like tons of different choices in speakers, and you know, everyone has its different sound. I mean, in fact, one greenback or Green Beret or one type of speaker, even though they're the same kinds, they still can sound a little bit different from piece to piece. So it's from that regard, it's kind of like guitar, where one Strat may play great, and the next Strat that's the same model, we're like, it's all right.
Oh, you're talking about different cones. I mean, rib, smooth, ceramic, non-ceramic, Alnico.
Yeah, I mean it's
way lots of options.
Yeah. So all right. So I hope this was informative for you guys. I hope it's something you enjoy. If you have any questions or anything like that, comment below. If you listen to this on the audio podcast, make sure you email podcast@wamplerpedals.com. And again, you guys keep asking us questions that we can answer on a podcast, and we'd love to answer them here. So make sure you get with us. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.